You think you're the same person who woke up this morning, but what if I told you that you died last night, and what's sitting here right now is just a story your brain is telling itself? Every memory you have, every moment that made you who you are, is being rewritten right now as you watch this. The person you think you've always been, they never existed. Stay with me. Close your eyes for a second. Think about your childhood home. Can you see it? The way the light came through the windows, the smell of dinner cooking, your mother's voice calling your name. Good. Now here's the problem. That memory isn't real. Not in the way you think it is. What you just saw in your mind wasn't a recording. It was a reconstruction. Your brain took fragments, scattered pieces of neural data, and built a scene, like an artist painting from faded photographs. And every time you remember something, you're not accessing the original file. You're remembering the last time you remembered it. A copy of a copy of a copy. Scientists call this reconsolidation. Each time you recall a memory, your brain physically rewrites it. It adds new details, removes old ones, blends in emotions from today, fears from yesterday, hopes from tomorrow. Your past is being edited constantly without your permission. So here's the question that should terrify you. If all your memories are reconstructions, if the story of your life is being rewritten every single day, then who are you? Because you are not your body. Your cells die and regenerate every 7 to 10 years. The physical matter that makes you has been replaced multiple times. You are not your thoughts. They come and go like clouds. Here one moment, gone the next. You are not your feelings. They shift with the weather, with what you ate, with how much you slept. So we say, I am my memories. I am my past. I am the story of everything I've experienced. But what if that story is a lie? Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. Sarah lost her memory at 34. A car accident. When she woke up in the hospital, she didn't know her own name, didn't recognize her husband, couldn't remember her children. The doctors told her who she was, showed her photographs. Her family told her stories, who she loved, what she believed, the kind of person she'd been. And slowly, Sarah rebuilt herself. But here's what haunted her. She never knew if she was being the real Sarah or just playing a character based on other people's descriptions. She'd look at old photos and think, did I really love this person? Or am I just remembering that I'm supposed to? One day, her sister told her a story about their childhood, a fight they'd had when they were 12. Sarah listened, nodded, and later that day, she could remember it. She could see the room, feel the anger, hear the words they'd said. But she knew somewhere deep inside that this wasn't her memory. It was implanted, a seed that grew into a full tree of false experience. And she realized something that broke her completely open. This is what we all do. Every day, we hear a story about ourselves. We look at who we were yesterday, and we decide, yes, that's me. I am continuous. I am the same person. But it's just a decision, an agreement we make with ourselves every morning when we wake up. What if we stopped making that agreement? The Buddha said, you cannot step into the same river twice, but he left out the second part. You cannot step into it once, because by the time you've stepped, the river has already changed, and so have you. There is no continuous self. There is only this moment, and this one, and this one. Each thought arises and dies. Each sensation appears and vanishes. Each version of you exists for a fraction of a second before dissolving into the next. You are not a noun. You are a verb, not a thing, but a process. The philosopher Derek Parfit spent his life studying identity, and he came to a radical conclusion. Personal identity doesn't matter. What matters is psychological continuity, the sense that there's a thread connecting all these moments. But that thread, it's imaginary. Think about it. You go to sleep every night. Your consciousness vanishes completely. And when you wake up, you have no direct experience of the person who went to sleep. You just have memories, a sense of continuity. But what if you didn't wake up? What if someone else woke up in your body with all your memories and genuinely believed they were you? Would anyone know the difference? Would you? This is the identity illusion, the belief that there's a you that persists through time, an unchanging observer behind your eyes, a ghost in the machine. But neuroscience has looked for this ghost. They've scanned every inch of the brain, and they found nothing. No central command center, no self, just billions of neurons firing in patterns, creating the sensation of a me. Your brain is not a single thing. It's a collection of competing systems. Different parts want different things. They argue, they compromise, they take turns being in control. And the part you call I, it's just the narrator, the storyteller, the one trying to make sense of all this chaos and create a coherent identity. But here's what will free you. Once you see through the illusion, once you realize there is no fixed self to defend, no permanent identity to protect, everything changes. Because if you're not your memories, you can't be trapped by them. If you're not your past, you can't be defined by it. If you're not your story, you can rewrite it right now. So what does this mean for how you live? It means you can let go. That embarrassing thing you did 10 years ago, that's not you. That was a different pattern of neurons in a different configuration, in a different moment. That identity you've been clinging to. The successful one, the broken one, the unlovable one. It's just a story, and stories can change. You don't have to be consistent. You don't have to make sense. You don't have to be the person you were yesterday. Every moment is a chance to begin again. This is what the Buddhists mean by no self. Not that you don't exist, but that you exist differently than you think. You are not a fixed entity moving through time. You are time itself, constantly creating and destroying forms. And when you realize this, really realize it, a strange kind of freedom emerges. Because if there's no permanent self, then there's nothing to lose. You can risk. You can change. You can become. You can look at your memories not as facts, but as interpretations. Stories you've been telling about events that happened. And if you don't like the story, tell a different one. Not by lying, but by shifting perspective. By asking, what else could this mean? That childhood trauma that's defined you for decades. What if it's not a wound, but a teacher? That failure you can't forget. What if it's not a stain on your identity, but evidence that you tried? That person you think you are. What if they're just one possibility, and tomorrow you could be someone else entirely? The neuroscientist David Eagleman wrote, "There are 3 deaths. The first is when the body ceases to function. The second is when the body is lowered into the ground. The third is the last time your name is spoken. But I'll tell you about a 4th death. The one that happens every night when you fall asleep. And a 5th, the one happening right now, as the person you were at the beginning of this video dissolves into the person you are becoming. You die 1,000 times a day, and you are reborn just as often. The question is, who will you choose to be? There's a Zen story about a monk who asked his master, "What happens to me when I die?" The master replied, "How should I know?" The monk was confused. "But you're an enlightened master." The master smiled. "Yes, but not a dead one. You see, the fear of death, the fear of losing yourself, comes from believing you have a self to lose. But what if you've been dying and being reborn every moment of your entire life, and you just never noticed? What if the you that started watching this video is already gone, and the you that's here now is someone new, someone changed, someone who sees themselves a little differently? That shift, that tiny crack in the identity you've been carrying around, that's awakening, not as a destination, but as a process, a constant letting go of who you thought you were, to discover who you are becoming. Your memory creates you, but it's not a prison. It's a canvas, and every moment you get to paint something new. So let me ask you one last time, who are you? Really, don't answer with your story. Don't tell me your past. Don't give me your memories. Just be here, right now, without the narrative. Can you feel it? That spaciousness, that presence that exists before the story begins. That's what you've been looking for, and it was here all along. If this video changed something in you, even something small, then you're already different than you were before you clicked play. And if you want to keep exploring these edges of consciousness, these places where everything you thought you knew starts to dissolve, subscribe to Lucid Dissonance, because we're not here to give you answers. We're here to destroy your questions. Until next time, remember, you are not who you think you are. And that's the best news you'll ever hear.